Hello guys, welcome to and welcome back. I'm Veronica and I'm so ready to show you guys my latest ensemble. And if you want to see how I created this look, stay tuned. Okay you guys, so right now I'm doing a fabric stretch out, and I do this to assess the fabric and see how flowy it is, see how much of it is, make sure there's no, rips or stains or tears. So as I like to say, when you are putting your fabric on the table, make sure that there's no ripples or wrinkles in it, because that will give you a false measurement. Now, as you can see here, I am cutting the table because my cutting mat is smaller than my table. So I wouldn't advise to do that, obviously, because it makes your blade dull. And as you'll be able to see later on in the video, a blade that's dull, you won't be able to do anything with it but shred the clothing, shredding the fabric. I was hoping that didn't go like that. So here I was trying something different. I was trying like a fanned out effect for the dramatic flare. I wanted something to have a little bit more personality and to distinguish it from other dresses, other black dresses. So I was trying to, learn from my mistakes, create and adjust. But this time it didn't go right. So I had to learn from it for next time. Okay, so if you can't tell by now, what I was trying to do was put some pleats in that part of the top of the shoulder. And this is what I've done before on one of the first dresses that I've ever made. So that's why it looks bad, y'all. So as you can see, if you put enough, I want to say darts, but no, I guess those are pleats in a fabric, then it gives us some sort of texture to it. And that's what I was trying to do here. But this black fabric it's designed for summertime. That's why I couldn't handle the ideal that I had. So guys, now what you want to do is you want to get on the floor so that you have plenty of room, and you want to assemble your pieces. You want to make sure that you have all the pieces facing the correct way. It's like a puzzle. And as you can see, that one piece is shorter than the rest of them. So yes, I'm going to have to cut it even with the shortest piece. And guys, I just want to say that you don't have to be an expert in the field. You just got to be determined to till the ground, because in all labor, there is profit. If this is your first video you've watched of mine, I would suggest that you watch the one before this one. I made a gown. It was the first gown I've ever made, and I'm super proud of myself. I made that gown in less than 9 days after being self-taught for 3 months of sewing. And guys, I just want to say that some of us have been waiting on the wrong people to compliment us. We have been waiting on basically the enemy to give us a progress report, and he don't like you. He has nothing positive to say about you because he is the father of lies. Stop trying to make people proud that are glad to see you do bad. So I'm just going to fold it. And then after I fold it, I'll check to see. Wait a minute. I just noticed that this has like a good side and a bad side. Like I can see the back side of those. So I definitely want to take that into consideration when we're sewing, so that we can use the prettiest side available. At first it all looked the same. I mean, it's still going to get seen though, because it's sheer, so you can see through to the other side. So I guess it don't matter. We're going to put this here. Yeah, because at first I was thinking this would be a good bottom piece, but not if it's going to get, be sticking like it's doing. We ain't going to be able to do nothing with it if it's going to be doing it. So these are our 3/4 inch sleeves. However, do we really want it to be that long with that type of dress? Yes, we do. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and cut. promise y'all, feels like this is my first time using the rotary today. The rotary today. Now, one of my subscribers was telling me how I need to make sure that I'm doing it on the pull side so that up the stretch side, so that everything stretches. Because the gown that I did, who knows, if I would have done it on the right side, then it could have had long sleeves. Because y'all know I love me a long sleeve garment. So now I'm going to, this top half, make sure it's cut. Okay, it's cut, good. Remove this. We should have 2 of these. Voila. Voila. So now we're going to pin that back. And we're going to pin this back. And we have the sleeves to our dress. Y'all, God is so good. Excuse me, I'm belching. Whew. Thank you, Jesus. God is so good. There comes a certain point when I start sewing that I just feel good about what I'm sewing. And I love that feeling because it's like, okay, you're on the right track. Now, I remember the trouble that I had with the last lace, so hopefully I don't experience that. Now, I'm going to do this off camera because I want to be mindful of you guys' time. Low-key, I'm super proud of myself for knowing where it was. Okay, guys, so here I had great intentions, okay? Although I wasn't able to execute them how I wanted to. The boning would have been way too heavy for this fabric. And the boning is more for a corset area, like the midsection of the body. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can put boning wherever you want to put boning, you know what I'm saying? But it just didn't go. So I decided to give it pleats instead. And it just, y'all, it didn't happen how I wanted it to happen. And that's okay. You know, I tried. That's all that matters, is that I tried it. Will I try it again? I sure will. We don't give up over here. All right. So I'm going to pin this here. I folded it over. It's just basically taking regular fabric and giving it some texture so that it adds a little touch of, I want to say, class to it. It makes it stand out. It makes it more, takes an ordinary dress and jazzes it up. So I'm not going to put too many pins in there, but I'm going to definitely secure it. It's almost like giving it a fan, making it a fan. I think I should have kept it with the amount that I had on there the first time. Because if you wait until you feel like doing it, you're not going to feel like doing it. Your feelings cannot be the thing that's leading you. It has to be what you know. You know, once you get started, you're gonna keep going. You know that. Yeah, that's not what I envisioned. If it was a more constructed fabric, more structured fabric, this would really, I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna keep going. And guys, I just want to remind you all, don't get healed from your issue and then become embarrassed about your issue. Your issue has power. The issue of blood that you were delivered from has power, because we overcome Satan by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. So whatever God has delivered you from, You have power. That's what makes you unique. That's what's going to bring you into your destiny and your calling. But the thing is that we get healed from stuff and then we want to keep it to ourselves. We get delivered from stuff and we don't want anybody knowing that we ever had an issue of blood, that we was walking around and we had spent everything we had on physicians and did not get better, but rather grew worse. But when Jesus comes into your life and he does for you what nobody else can do for you, that is your key. That is your ticket to lift him up and magnify him in the unique way that only you can, for the unique blessing that he did for specifically you. Because somebody needs to know that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And whatever pit you find yourself in, whatever valley you find yourself in, just know that there is a deliverer, there is a healer, there's a mind regulator, and he'll give you peace that passes all understanding. He'll make your enemies your footstool. And if you confess your faults and you ask him to wash you and cleanse you, he will. And he will separate you from your sins as far as the east is to the west. And you can be forgiven and you can be set free in Jesus' name. So guys, here again, I just want to show you what a dull rotary cutter will do. It'll jack up the fabric. Okay. But the the cutter is no longer cutting like it was. So now we're gonna still use these. Okay, we're gonna still use them. Let's go pin them. So the last time I did a sheath dress, I did it off camera and it was blue. So I just want to insert a clip so that you guys can see how it turned out. I had a short piece in the front and it made it extremely, well, not extremely, it fits snug in some places. I was going to say extremely wider than it should have been, but so needless to say, this time I didn't use the smaller piece in the front. So it made it, you know, a little bit more form-fitting. Arms have that, whatever that is, it's like an indentation. You can tell that's where it goes. All right. So as you can see, the bottom, the sides were long enough, okay? So we're only going to pin this to one side of the dress so that we can take it off of the mannequin. But we had to get an idea of where to start in the... Okay guys, so I just want to show you this. At the very end, I decided to pin a pop of color to the dress so that I could switch up the shoes. At first I was going to wear some black shoes and I was like, yeah, that's too much black. We are living in the resurrected power of Jesus Christ. Okay, it is no longer I that liveth, but Christ that liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. So I said all that to say this, okay? This video here is showing you how you insert a safety pin in the back of the flower, and then you just pin it. So I have the option of changing the flower every time I wear, you know, this dress or any dress for that matter. We're gonna do these sleeves right now, y'all. We're gonna do the sleeves right now. Real quickly, this is the lace that I use to go over the top part of the arms. I'll definitely be incorporating more sheer into all of my sewing, sheer and lace, because why not? Okay, we got the warm, hot summer months coming ahead. And I just think that sheer and lace are very feminine and very girly, and that's just me, you know what I mean? So I may not like, you know, patterns on my clothing. I may want to be like, you know, solid print or a floral. I love a good floral, as y'all know. But lace, Lace and sheer. Oh my goodness. Count me in, honey. And so I have a question for all of my tailors and seamstresses out there. So how do you determine your next project? Is it something that you see and you're like, huh, I want to try to make that? I'm just curious because right now I have a long list of things that I want to tackle. And one of them that kind of surprised me is the car seat covers, rather. So, like, I have a German Shepherd Rottweiler mix, and I let him in my car. He rides with me. And so, my car doesn't, it shows that there's a dog in there. And so, I thought, what an amazing opportunity for me to make some car seat covers. And so I went to Walmart and I purchased these things that go on. I put them on my own living room furniture. Um, However, that was nice for them. But I was like, you know what? If since car seat covers can run anywhere from 89 to, like 150, depending upon your car and depending upon like if you want genuine leather or whatever, I don't know. I don't want that. I just want something to cover. I'll put a sheet over there if what I'm saying, if it comes down to it. But those covers are like $24, right? I can make 2 car seat covers and I can buy like a large thing of elastic and sew that around there and it'll stretch right over them. I mean, am I tripping? Anyway, so I just wanted to know, like, how do you guys determine what your next project is going to be? Because I also thought about trying my hand at a wedding dress. Yes, a wedding dress. Why does this not look lined up all of a sudden? Oh well, we're gonna keep going. Like I did all that for nothing? Alright. And someone also suggested, thank you very much for these helpful tips, you guys. They noticed that I was doing something consistently that was kind of causing the thread to jam. So in a very kind way, they suggested that I don't turn the needle towards me. I think that's what she said, or he. I don't remember looking at the gender. But I don't know what they mean by that. So I got to figure out how I'm turning the needle towards me. So this kind of gave it I don't know. I mean, it's cool. It worked. It sewed it. But it kind of gave it a ruffly, like, I like it. I like it. So now we can take them pins out of there. They can stop sliding all over everywhere. I guess I should leave it on the right side so that I don't accidentally sew the wrong side. And one thing I do appreciate, another thing I do appreciate about this serger is that it cuts off the excess fabric to really give you a professional seam. At first, I didn't know why it was shredding the fabric. I was like, it's chewing up my fabric. But it's not. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? If I seen this in the store, I would not know that somebody handmade it. You couldn't tell me somebody handmade that. I'm gonna go over it again. Some people be like, why? Why not? I'm reaching for the pedal, see? Once you learn a certain way, it just works. Whoa, I didn't realize I could go faster. This is serger abuse, y'all. There was no need for me to go over this twice. It was so nice, I had to do it twice. I just wanted to make sure it was, I feel like this is going to be the dress. This will be the dress. Look at that. You can't tell me that's not a sleeve. When a black woman grunts like that, that's a sign of approval. Oh, Jesus. Okay, before I get up, let me just go ahead and do this one. Is a sleeve. I don't even know if it's, yes, it's the right side. So as you guys can probably tell, those sleeves are roomy enough for me to, I don't know, maybe take off 1.5 inches. But I like to leave a little bit of room because, you know, when you make a muscle, you want to have some room. And one thing I did notice that the sleeves needed something else to kind of define them. From a distance, it just looked like, I don't know, maybe my arms were discolored. But I wanted something to show that, no, this is sheer right here. You know what I mean? So what I ended up doing was putting some lace on the, let's see, the outline of the arm. And it turned out really pretty. I don't know if you guys can really see the definition of the lace. Because I also put it around the, I want to say the clavicle bone, the collarbone, the hip bone's connected to the tailbone. I don't know what bone that is, but I put the lace around the neckline. There we go. And the back of the neckline. What is the back of the neckline? Is that still a neckline? So many questions. Okay, they're not double stitching it, double serging it. They're not getting down like this. And I would go as far as to say Ross, Burlington, what's the other one, Shein, you know what I'm saying? None of them are taking the precaution to make sure that your clothes have longevity and, you know, double stitch it, double sew it. They put that one stitch in there and that's it. I used to be an avid Ross shopper. I love their dresses. Their dresses are cute at Ross. Don't get me wrong. Some of them. Now, last time I was there, everything was a flare. Everything flared out. Everything stopped at the thigh, flared out. What's cute about that? Anyway, let me stop talking smack. But I mean, just throw in some pieces in there that go down past the knee, that are form-fitting, and that's not. Must everybody's armpits be out? Do we all have to have our armpits exposed? I don't want people hugging on me and I feel their armpit resting on the top of my shoulder. I don't want that. Anyway, so we're going to turn this right side out, or the wrong side out, and we're going to put this back on the mannequin, and we're going to finish sewing everything together. I'm in the mood to sew. One goes over here. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this one goes over here. Make sure it's, see, this one wasn't ready. This one would have been sewn the wrong way. Let me turn it the right way. Put it on there. Be sure not to get your fingers under there. I just love this machine. Oh my goodness. Y'all remember when you first learned how to drive? That feeling of, oh, you just wanted to wake up and go somewhere. You just want to wake up and drive. I had my first car at 16, and it was a Tempo, a Ford Tempo, gray, with a sunroof. Cost me $800. And I still spend about that much on cars now. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, a lot more. But it's still in that cash car bracket. I don't do payments. I just love this machine. Go ahead and leave in the comment section, what was your first car? I'm just curious, okay? Because my daughter, she wanted her first car to be a Prius. And that's when Prius had just came out. And I was like, okay, maybe I can go to the car auction and get you a Prius for cash, you know, something that somebody then brought back. And that little girl had some high hopes, which is good, but she didn't get a Prius for her first car. Her brother actually paid for her to get a Bug, and that was one of her other favorite cars. I put something on it. I'm gonna take 2 pins out. I love this machine. Oh my goodness. It is so like consistent and reliable. I want to say faithful. What is this? Consistent, reliable. My old supervisor, she had a saying where she'd be like, yeah, we're running like a well-oiled machine. This is a well-oiled machine. I just appreciate the fact that it comes through every time. I mean, I ain't trying to shade the sewing machine over there. I ain't trying to shade it, although I'm talking loud enough for it to hear. But yeah. It has its purpose, I'm sure. There we go. It was already still attached on there. Whoa. So the other dress is underneath here. I couldn't even tell. What am I doing? So if this is the back, Focus on one side at a time. That's what I'm doing. This, we're going to do it just like we connected the other side panel. But I just wanted to show you guys how it's coming along. All right, so we're just going to ignore that little piece right there that's kind of shredded. And again, I'm going to do this off camera so that you guys can go. Is this the bottom? This is the bottom. So I've just got through eating my smothered pork chops. I apologize if you are a vegetarian, and I apologize if you do not eat pork, but honey, them pork chops was good. So I'm trying to see where the front is. This is the front. So here I'm just wrapping the dress around me. I could have done this to the mannequin, but I felt like the mannequin has a better waistline than I do, so I'm low-key jealous. I punch her in the gut from time to time. Another panel. And where it's going to fall and fit. And technically I could have done this on the mannequin. So it goes about to my knee. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that even with the shortest part. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut that even to the knee. Where is this? And guys, this was when I started to realize that the little flare, or whatever you want to call it, the personality piece on the shoulder, was going to be a problem. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to execute my idea. And it really hurt. It hurt. Y'all see that? Uh-oh. What happened here? How is that possible? Well, I'll say it happened because all things are possible, and clearly something got too close to something and the fabric began to bunch up. So yeah, this definitely can be, see, that's all it's gonna do. It's gonna give it a little personality right there on the sleeves. I feel like I should do it on both, but then that makes it like a, come on now. Oop, just like that. I'm gonna figure it out. Oh, we gonna figure it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this while it's I'll go ahead and cut this. I'm not gonna cut it while it's on me. I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and I did that last time when I cut the shear when it was on me. Here. So now I'm going to fold this, double this up, right? So that it's not too long. And we're going to do exactly what we did on the gown. Let's make sure we have enough. Let's count up the costs. Make sure we have enough to go to war with before we start and can't finish. Scripture. and it looks like we don't have enough. So the doubling up ideal is gonna have to wait. And instead, I don't wanna mix those sleeves up. Instead, we're going to go ahead and cut that in half. Do y'all see what I did there? I wanted it thicker at first, but it's like, it didn't need to be thicker. I just wanted it thicker. So now this is definitely enough room to go around. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch these ends together, and then I'm gonna give it a hem before I connect it to the dress. All right. You may not know, I took this particular sheer off of a skirt that an old friend had given me. I usually don't like to do that because I feel like that's not making clothes, that's just modifying clothes. Or what do you guys call it? Upcycling or something. And you know, that's good for the environment and everything. But anyway, so I did it anyway. And I'm going to do more of that. For the sleeves, you know what I'm saying? And for certain little parts of it, it just makes sense. So I just wanted to show you that I was taking off an old thing that had been serged. Since it was jet black, it was straight black, and this has a little bit of maroon or burgundy in it. I didn't want to use that, so I took it off. So now I'm going to give it a lining or a hem. Let me sit down, rest my bones. And I'm going to try not to shred off too much of this because I want it to be as, you know, long as possible, but not too long. This is a lot. Let me cut y'all off. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking the sheer and I'm placing it, pinning it to the dress. But then I realized that I had more sheer than dress. So I was like, well, let me just go ahead and fold it over, you know, kind of do it the same way how I've done tulle. And so you kind of want to like fold the tulle under the sewing machine and then stitch it and fold it and stitch it. You're pleating it while pushing it through, not pushing it, well, guiding it through the machine. And so that's when I realized, I was like, hey, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm trying to use my serger instead of the sewing machine. We're going to fold it and push it through ever so slowly. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to put this bad boy on the flizzo, the floor. Lift it up. I was about to press it. Why do I feel like this is not what I want to do? I'm gonna figure it out. Just a heads up for those of you who have wisdom or discernment, definitely for those who have both, you are going to see me get uncomfortably close to this machine. I'm nervous even talking about it. I don't know, it's something about the sergers that are more intense than sewing machines, but I knew that my sewing machine wouldn't be able to render the results that I wanted that the serger could give. Being very mindful of the blades. We ain't trying to lose no finger making no dresses. Oh yeah, there we go. So the reason why I said I'm going to start upcycling my clothes or using what I already have access to is because I have a lot of clothes. I was selling on Poshmarks back in 2017 to I literally just stopped this year. And that was because I don't know, I felt like I had more frustrations than I did powerful moments or success. I made a lot of money off of Poshmark, but just the hoarding of the clothes, and it wasn't just clothes, it was shoes, it was household stuff, and I don't know, they kept raising the shipping. It got to be a bit much. So I've thrown away a lot of those clothes. Well, not thrown them away, I take that back. Placed them at those little cubicles where you donate clothes. Yeah, those things, they weren't around when I was a kid growing up, or else I definitely would have been shopping inside of them things. Okay. Um, but yeah, so I donated there. Some of them I did throw away, if I felt like. Anyway, so the upcycling is going to come in handy because um, I'm still in the learning processes. So before I go to Joann's, although I'm really thinking about going to Joann's to get some white fabric for this wedding dress that I keep picturing, y'all, I don't know how many videos from now, but it's definitely going to be a wedding dress video coming up soon, very soon. I may take my time with it, but I'm definitely going to give birth to that idea. That's crazy. We went from having more than enough to looks like not enough. But that's cool. That's cool. It's all right. So, let me see. Let me put it around my little. So I just want to see if I have walking room. And I don't. I couldn't climb a step to save my life if I. Like I said, we could always give it a split. Yep, that's what we're going to do. That little area that we made a mistake with, that's going to be the split. And this is it right here. Even though you guys are going to see me split this dress right on up to the hip, I ended up sewing it right back together. So it's like I kind of like cut out that piece of fabric that was bunched up that I accidentally did with the serger. But I mean, I had a good idea, right? But that split was way too far. I'm like, nah, we not. That's not what we doing. All right. So now we're going to run this back like this. This is my first time. No, this ain't my first. This is my first time making a split. Huh, that's all the way up the hip, ain't it? Huh, if that's to the knee, that has to be to the thigh. And what ended up happening with me doing that was that it kind of brought it closer in around the knee. Yeah. So I was loving it, honey. I was thrilled about it. That is the perfect length for me. Right there too. But and then just tapering it, giving it like a tapered look. I should have done the same thing on the other side, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this right down here without flashing y'all. Put it around here and see where I want it. Ooh, it's enough to go around, y'all. But then again, I want to leave it open so I can walk. Oh yes. I'm gonna pin this. So I don't care how I get it on here, I just know this is where I want it. I mean, I do care how I get it on there, but be careful when doing this, guys. I don't recommend this because them pins hurt. You ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to fall to the floor like that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm sorry. Every time I do something, I feel like I just fall in love with the garment. Well, not every time I do something. Like that blue dress I showed y'all earlier. So I'm pinning it the wrong way, obvious. Oh my God. Let me go show my husband, y'all. You all, I appreciate you taking the time out to watch. As you can see, the pop of color with the flower, I can alternate which shoes I decide to wear with it. And yes, I'm very much aware that that little thing in the back, the seam right below the buttock, it had no right to be there. It just like tried to ruin my whole vibe, but I didn't let it. Thanks for watching.